How you doing, everyone? My name is Geb Betatron, and I have a new channel by the name of Gebs Wisdomtree. Now, this video will be the first of many videos I will be uploading to YouTube to have various discussions, various topics about faith, about strength, about wisdom, um, the things that you go through, the life's lessons that you learn, that you hold in your head, that you use to motivate and to keep you in that peace, in that space in your mind where you're constantly growing, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly wanting to learn how to get the most out of your life, to get the most out of yourself. Now, I won't be teaching you how to get rich or anything like that, but I can teach you how to get rich in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because I've come to learn that it's more important to have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as opposed to having a wealth of currency, a wealth of money. Because if you don't have the right mentality for the right kind of wealth that you are seeking, you'll never be. I'll just put it out there. You'll just never be. You'll never begin to see it. And people from different walks of life, is some people who know what it means to have a wealth of knowledge, and then there are those who don't know what it means to have a wealth of knowledge. And some people think that you have to become a Christian, or you have to become a Buddhist, or you I don't mean to step on anyone's toes. You have to believe in God in order to get the most out of your life. Now, I'm not motivating anyone to not believe in God or in a higher power. But what I am motivating people to do is to rely upon that individual spirit that allows you to get up and go every single day. You know, what motivates you, what sparks you, even if you think you don't have anything with what you're going through. Everybody is born with the uh, the need to seek something outside of themselves, or to seek for something that is within themselves. And a lot of times they don't know how to go about it. Well, I would like for these videos, for those who don't know how, I would like for my videos to be one of many videos that can teach you how to gain confidence within yourself, even when you see that you're in a situation where all around you there's nothing but chaos. What you have to understand is, just like you have order and chaos, chaos come just like you have order and chaos. Instead of having order and chaos, think of it as chaos and order, because in life chaos comes first. And when chaos comes first, or when you look at chaos coming first, it's when you're taught to look at the chaotic situations that you're going through, and you must say to yourself, okay, how can I get out of this? What is this? What is this that I'm going through that it feels like I'm stuck? It feels like I can't get out. Well, you can get out of it. Bottom line. Thing of it is, how hard are you willing to work? Are you willing to listen to my videos each week? Are you willing to turn on this channel and ready and be ready for me to teach you how you can lead yourself out of bondage? And you can lead yourself out of bondage through a life lesson you may have seen someone else live. And you're asking yourself, well, how can I do this? How can I do that? Well, the very first thing you have to do is you have to question yourself. I mean, it's only because we live in a society where we are taught to, in a subliminalistic way, to hate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're taught to hate ourselves because we're black. We're taught to hate ourselves because we're white. We're taught to hate ourselves because we're male, or because we're female, or because we're children, or because, we don't look like everyone else. I would like for my wisdom tree to be the type of tree to where anyone can come to this tree, and anything, any kind of fruit that they see that they're curious about, they can pick from it and eat of it and say, oh, okay, now I see, now I understand. And everything that I have been doing hasn't necessarily been wrong, but it hasn't necessarily been right. It's just that I have to learn to change my perception of what it is I'm going through. I must learn to change what it is that I feel about myself and how I feel about the people around me. Now, you can do that from the biblical perspective. You can do it from the Lotus Sutra perspective. You can do it from the Buddhist perspective. I mean, all the various isms and philosophies that you have in life that you can look at and say, well, I can learn from this. And just in case if you're curious, if you're wondering what I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about a variable topic, a variable topic of things. And I'm not just going to simply be pulling from one source. As far as physician heal thyself and to thine own self be true, I'm going to be pulling from various sources. So at least this way, when no one will have an excuse to have faith in themselves. Anything that you hear from me, or any kind of wisdom that I may be pulling from someone else and I'm bringing it to you in like manner, you can look at it and say, well, I don't now that I know this, now that I have heard this from him, I can no longer use the excuse of I can't, I can't, I can't. You must go into using the excuse of I can, I can, I can. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If I have to, I'll go into some illustrations where I can teach you a breathing exercise where you can learn to calm yourself down, and you can learn to open up your mind and your body and your soul to the energies of the universe that are far more vast and far greater than anything you could ever possibly imagine. I mean, I know this because it's what I've done for years. It's what I've done for the last 40 some odd years of my life. Ever since I learned what a breathing exercise was, I continue to learning to do various breathing exercises because I'm a martial artist and I'm into martial arts. And I learned that in martial arts, you must learn to have a moral code before you can go out and do battle within the world. Well, that's how I see these life lessons. I see these life lessons as, things that you look at and say, okay, now that I know what to do, now that I know what to say, now that I know how to think, I know how to do battle within myself, because that's where most of your battles lie. All the battles that you have outside of yourself are normally battles that you have within yourself. And once you learn to calm those demons and learn to calm those things that keep you in upheaval, and doing the breathing exercises and listening to the lessons, it's not going to be easy at first, like most things, but because you must learn to take your time and go through the process. I mean, you're not going to see results right away, but at the same time too, what you must learn to do is you must not learn to waver. You must not allow yourself. It's just like learning how to walk for the first time. It's just learning these lessons, and that's what it is. Is that learning these lessons is just like learning how to walk for the first time in your life. Learning to these lessons is a lot like learning how to ride a bike for the first time in your life. You're not going to get it the very first day. when you learn these topics, when you learn these lessons, you're not going to get it right away. So what I'm urging you to do first of all is to when you take in these lessons, give yourself some time. You may think, well, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what does he mean. Why is this and why is that? The very first thing I wish to urge you to do, the individual listener, is to keep a dictionary in your house. And it doesn't matter how many dictionary. You can keep one dictionary, you can keep two, you can keep three, you can keep all, it doesn't matter how many dictionaries you keep. The reason why I say that is because when you hear a word that you hear me say or hear a phrase you hear me say, you can go to that dictionary and you can open it up to it and you can say, oh, okay, now I understand what he means when he says to believe or to know or to do this or to do that. It's our personal responsibility to know when someone is telling us the truth. When we know when someone is telling us the truth, there is a moment of clarity. Now, we don't have to necessarily believe in anything anyone tells us, or you don't necessarily have to believe in the lessons that I'm teaching you. But if if you're choosing to listen to me, if you're choosing to listen to what I'm saying to you, then you kind of got the battle halfway beat. To beat the other half is to sit down and to listen and to allow yourself to be open and to allow yourself to take from these lessons what you think you need. And once you've gotten your fill, to leave the rest, to do what is necessary for you to take in, what is necessary for you to take in. Now, one thing that I would like to do, if I may, is I would like to read off something of a mission statement that I have, because I don't want this to simply be about me. I want this to be about you, the individual viewer, the individual listener, because to get as far as my mental state, to get to where I am now, or as far as my mental state, I had to learn to listen and I had to learn to learn. I'm a Virgo. We're us Virgos of the zodiac. We are the learners, and we love to learn. If you're the type of person where you love to learn, then allow that to be your motivation to listen. Now, if you start to feel sleepy, or if you start to feel groggy halfway, you know, listening to me talk, then you don't have to listen to me talk. You can turn this video off and go about your business and go about your merry way and and do what it is that you do. And I will not hold it against you. You won't hold it against me. It will be just another valuable life lesson, that it was just something that once you started hearing me talk, you began to realize, oh, he's just saying the same thing somebody else is saying. I can continue listening to that person as opposed to listening to him, and I won't feel any different. I won't feel any less. If anything, I'll be happy, because it'll tell me, whether I know it or not, it'll tell me that you are learning to go deeper with whatever lesson that you're listening to, that you may have heard for the first time and didn't hear it all the way through. So what you must do is, if you wish to really get the lesson, if you really wish to get the gist of what it is, of what's going on, then you must learn to listen, and you must allow yourself to learn, because it's everybody's right. Like it says in the Muslim faith, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. You know, that basically means that is your responsibility, that if there is something that you don't know, you must take it upon yourself to do research. You must take it upon yourself to take what someone has given you and you question it. Why am I looking at this? Why am I holding this piece of thing, or whatever it is that this lesson that I'm being given? what does it have to do with me? That should be your next question, is to always ask yourself, any valuable lesson that you get from me, or that anything that you hear me say or hear someone else say, and it's the same thing, then you must ask yourself, what does this lesson have to do with me? Where is this lesson trying to take me? Why is it important that I know what it means to have faith, what it means to believe, what it means to know, what it means to seek a right, what some people may call a righteous path, or in some cases, an unrighteous path. Because anything that you do, that I should say that what I've learned is that anything that you do, anything that you learn from a Christian perspective, you it's to the glory of the Most High God. Now, how do I take that and look at it separately from Christianity? Well, that in actuality is the easy part, because you, as the individual person, you have the right to question anything and everything that you have been given. You have the right to question any lesson that you feel has nothing to do with you. But just because it has nothing to do with you doesn't mean you can't learn at that point in time what that lesson is. So, with that being said, I'm going to go into my mission statement. And please forgive me if I skip a few words here and there, you know what I'm saying? Because it's mostly about being able to do for others as well as do for myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Geb of Gebs Wisdomtree, and this is the first of many YouTube videos where I would like to talk to you about life's problems, and I would like to advise you on how to overcome even when it seems like things are not looking up for you. Not only am I a teacher of life's lessons, but I am also a student. When I allow myself to be able to teach as well as learn, it allows me the opportunity to grow and evolve in the most correct way possible. I say that because people don't know that they are teachers as well as students, no matter what your topic in life is. Okay, that's pretty much what I have written down for right now. When you take what you've learned and you pass it on, you begin to grow. There's a greater chance of you understanding, okay, what the lesson involves. It allows room for more lessons to be taken in. And anything that you pass on, anything that you learn, that you pass on, you can, what will happen is it'll come back to you in a few years, 3 months time. Anything that you understanding now, the meaning of it is going to change over time. Anything that you learn how to do for the very first time, any active lesson, any biblical lesson, any kind of lesson that you learn for the very first time, once you plant that seed and it begins to grow, you tend to it. But what begins to happen is that the lesson in itself, the meaning of the lesson changes over time. And in that way, you don't your mind is not stuck in looking at something, or looking at a lesson in one particular way. You can look at it in a multitude of ways. I know that's the gist of it, the thing to do, but people really don't take into consideration how important it is to learn, to adapt. When you allow yourself to adapt, you allow yourself to learn a different aspect of yourself you may not have known before. And that's the whole purpose behind having this channel called Gebs Wisdomtree, because once you, it's just it's like how you take a pebble and you throw it out into and throw it into the middle of the lake, and all of a sudden the spot where you threw the pebble, it has all these ripples. Well, if you look at those ripples, if you look at them, you can also look at them like a resonating musical note, where you have all these sounds and all these different tones, where as Barry White once said, you know, you can take the tone, you can take one note, and when you learn to change a note, you can change the tone, you can change the pitch, you can change how it sounds. And no matter how many sounds you get from that one note, it's still just that one note. And when Barry White said that, this was years ago. I was still in my 20s at the time when I had, when I heard him say that, and I was like, "Dang, that's the coolest thing I ever heard a man say, especially a musician like him." Anybody who knows who Barry White is, just look him up on YouTube, or Google him. You know what I'm saying? And look up anything and everything that he has, all the songs he wrote. My God, just like with Stevie Wonder, all the songs that he wrote, there's lots of life lessons in that, in his songs. And I even heard Barry White once say, we are what you call self-made gods. Self-made gods in the sense that we can change our destiny. We can change the way that we think. We can change the way that we feel. We can change our direction in life. And even if you don't achieve massive amounts of wealth, which to me is nothing more than an illusion. I mean, you can still have that, but what you have to understand is you have to prepare yourself mentally. You have to change the way you think about wealth. You must change your definition of what you think wealth is. What is wealth? Is it money? Is it clothes? Is it happiness? Is it a mindset? Is it having children? Is it being a teacher? Is it being a student? What is it? That is the purpose behind Gebs Wisdomtree, is to find wisdom in anything and everything that is surrounding you. You can find a life lesson anywhere, everywhere. Now, I won't say all of that in this one setting, but like I said, I want this video to be one of many videos where you hear me speak. You can always go back to the first video and say, well, what did he mean by this and what did he mean by that? And I'm going to tell you, it's all about what you do at that point in time. It's all about what it is you choose to do and how you choose to do it. Now, how do you choose to do it? Well, that's quite simple. You take it one step at a time by asking yourself questions you would ordinarily ask when you feel that something has nothing to do with you. Like, you know how like with the phrase WTF, or or WTH, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? You look at it, and go, huh? Like if you see something happening, or if you see somebody say something that that caught your attention, and you say to yourself, well, what the hell did he say? What the hell did he say? What the hell did he mean? Well, that would be the time you have to ask yourself, okay, am I looking at this as someone who's thinks he's a thug, or am I looking at this as someone who sees himself as a student of life? So initially, you have to ask yourself, when you hear somebody say something, are you listening to it as a thug who thinks they know everything, or as someone who, or just an ordinary everyday Joe Schmo who just simply wants to know? Did you hear it with an open mind, or did you hear it with a closed mind? Because if you heard it with a closed mind, you're not going to get the lesson. But if you hear it with an open mind, then that's when a whole variety of questions will come out, and you say to yourself, "Wow, what is he? He said something I've never heard before. But what is this resonate? What is this thing? What is this lesson that's resonating within me? What is this topic? What is this issue? And what is, like I said, what does it have to do with me?" Thus begins your journey to self-discovery. Thus begins your need to evolve, your need to learn, your need to become better. And besides, we can't get there by ourselves, which is another important lesson. We all need each other. We all need to embrace each other in order to become stronger, in order to become smarter, in order to become wiser. I don't have a lot of time left. I have about a few minutes left. This has gone on for about a good 26 minutes, 30 minutes now, and I don't want to take up too much time, and I don't want to say too much just to spoil anything. But like I said, I'm going to be posting up more of these videos, and feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to give advice if necessary, if you want to. If you feel that, I'm sorry, if you feel that anything introductory that I've talked about thus far, if you feel like something of it is resonating with you, um, like I said, feel free to comment. Feel free to leave a message. Feel free to leave a blessing here and there. I mean, this is just a drop in a bucket for me right now. This is my first time, and I'm hoping and praying that I do my best for you, because that is my mission. My mission is to do what is right by you, but to also do what is right for self. So if it means, as a physician, to heal thyself, that I have to heal myself first in order to help you to heal, then I would hope that you would gain a lesson out of that. Because in order for me to continue my work, I must step back and allow myself to heal. And I know that as an individual, as an individual community, you must learn to do the same thing, but you may not necessarily know how to do it. So I wish to say thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me your ear. Thank you for dealing with my, I guess, this is my first, like I said, this is my first video of many videos to come. And I will do my best for you by the power of God's grace and by the power of the great divine as well. The I'm sorry, the divine feminine as well as the divine masculine, the divine androgynous creator. You know what I'm saying? By that, like I said, I will do my best for you, and I will continue to do my best for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me your time. And I hope that this resonates with you. I hope this, hope you can take anything that I'm telling you and you reapply it or readapt it to your own needs. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.